All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. We have some returning guests. Strike the Tower. We had them on about a year and a half ago. Had a really good conversation, and this is with COVID coming in. It's just we were talking about how that was affecting them. Well, now we are out of that, so now concerts are back on. We're able to have events again, and they've got new music that they're going to be working on. They got new concert dates coming on, and they've also got a new band member to introduce. So at this time, they said, let's get ready. We are going to find out whose faces are melted, whose asses are kicked. We're going to be talking with Strike the Tower, and that is right now. Welcome to the Three Beards podcast. My name is Craig, along with Austin and Chris.
Passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century.
Let me out.
I'm afraid that is quite justice and honor in Massachusetts colony?
All right, gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It's been a week. How's everybody been doing?
Wonderful. Just peachy.
I hate mechanics. It's annoying when you go to fix something in your truck and oh hey, you need a special tool. Why? Oh, just because fuck you, that's why. I was like, all right, cool. So I'll spend $100 on a tool I'm gonna use once a couple years. Awesome, appreciate it, man.
That's fantastic.
Exactly what it is, man. It's annoying.
You, Chris? Everything been
good? Just peachy. Everything's
good. Yeah, just gonna sit there in silence.
Just wonderful. I said wonderful first, and you didn't hear me, so I'm going wonderful. Let's not keep Strike the Tower away.
That's right. Let's bring them on right now. Gentlemen, what is going on?
What's up, guys?
Long time no see.
Back.
So, first off, introduce the new member of the band. I said something last time. So,
hi, I'm Jester. I'm with this band because this is band backwards. Jeremy Childers, and I'm a special toolmaker for auto mechanics.
Fantastic.
Fucking hate it.
Yeah. It's like, what do you guys do for a living? Well, we're all mechanics. Yeah. Oh my God.
Engineers, man. Engineers for
everything. So I mean, last time we talked a little bit before the show. Last time we talked to you guys, COVID just rocked the music scene. I mean, this was just, you want to talk about just a left hook out of nowhere. I mean, nobody really saw this coming, and it was just abrupt. I mean, you guys had, if I'm not mistaken, you guys had 9 dates lined up, and almost all of those were canceled within a short period of time. And that,
confirmed and 10 to be announced.
Wow. And most people don't, they don't understand. You're like, yeah, it's just a thing. It's like, well, when you're trying to get your name out there, you're trying to get on the scene, it's really hard. Because if nobody's really heard of you, they're not going to buy CDs. They're not going to buy these. They're not going to buy this stuff. So it's so important to be here on those dates. And so that, yeah. So what did you guys do in that year after that happened?
Well, we actually pulled off about 8 shows.
Yeah.
Anyway,
despite it all.
Anyway,
underground.
I think it was after about July or August, the stigma started to lower a little bit, and then the fall came, and everybody was outside again together, not giving a crap. we were all just partying, doing shows, having a good time. And that's whenever we got the local metal blacklist for playing during COVID.
We made masks mandatory though.
So you got a blacklist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we got put on the naughty list for playing during COVID. Somebody else made a list of all these bands playing during COVID, and we made that list.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that person's name. I think I know who you're talking about. I remember seeing in the comment section, and there's this guy. I think I might know who that was. It was part of that rock scene. They got North Carolina, that group, and I remember seeing somebody commenting about this, about all the people that were playing during this time. So I don't know if I'm on the right track. Let you know, just nod.
That's what the title of something like Carolina COVID offender or something like that.
Yeah, I was just.
I mean, my thing with that is you should have asked him, hey, look, you're going to pay my bills? I mean, I know we work a job too, but this is our gig life, you know? So, hey, you want to put us on a naughty list? Hey, how about you contribute so we don't have to go do shows right now?
Right. So somebody want to cancel somebody else. You know?
What it boils down to.
I think we just thought it's an opportunity for education.
No, audio trailed off there for a second on that one. What did you say on that?
I'm just saying that I think there was an opportunity that opened up, and everybody else takes the thing out of the
Yeah, yeah. So when are you guys? Have you guys started going in the studio yet, or is that coming up?
No, that we're in that process right now.
Oh, awesome.
So we're cutting tracks with the local, and they've been very supportive and have thrown some very, very polished stuff at us.
Now, if I might be mistaken, didn't you do the producing on the last album?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought as one. So this is just one of those. Is this a studio space you're renting? Is this a studio space that just you're producing there, or is this one of those like set up like garage type things? With the.
I mean, 80% only production. He spoke in the polished mix done by now, but we're still doing stuff here and look.
Not making it out.
Yeah, that's the Pangea production.
And that's yeah. So
Pangea production.
Oh yeah. It's one of those. Just gonna check right here. So that last one, it was faded out on you. I don't know if you can pull the mic a little closer to you guys. See if that helps. Try that and see, because
better.
Yeah, that was a lot better.
That's better.
All right.
Because it was right just at the end. It was like trailing off. So
when y'all first linked up and started, the new band member came in. Was it in like an immediate connection, or similar styles, or just y'all just clashed? Like
we knew the first night.
We did. Yeah. He came in. He had already done the homework. He had basically gotten a hold of our material. He asked us, sometimes individually, like I came over to his place just to kind of go over the absolutes, so that when he came in the first time, banged out 3. We just knew this guy was putting the work in, and that's really kind of who you need when you're bringing in a new member to get it to start happening immediately.
And also, it felt that way for me too, because the individuals in this band were in the right headspace, right age group, right family dynamics, the whole shebang. We're all in the same boat as far as we're getting older. We've got lives, we've got kids, we've got families, we've got all these things, and we're all just as dedicated to making this happen. And me and Jeremy have had multiple conversations about like, how many more runs at this do we have to be able to keep doing this? Because if this band were to dissolve, to find another band that's in the same position ready to do this that's virtually impossible. It's like this is it, you know.
Yeah.
So to be in a group of guys that are all on the same page with the same mindset, ready to do it, I told these guys right out of the gate when they were like, "Hey, we want to bring you on." I was like, "This feels like home."
That's amazing. I mean, because when people normally don't play together, you know, you can play music, but sometimes you have to force a fit because you need another band member or you want to add another band member. But when it clashes together and it works very well, that's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, and it was.
Yeah. So kind of go around the room. What was your guys' inspiration, you know, like to get into music, and also, you know, like what do you know, because everybody has, like, most when you talk to musicians, they're like, I really kind of looked up to this player, you know, this musician, you know, this is the type I try to emulate. It's like, I really want to do this, because you have a lot of people that it doesn't matter, you know, you can kind of go through the whole list. So just like whatever your favorite guitarist is, you know, you kind of think about that. What was your inspiration for getting into it? You know, kind of like just kind of go that way, just start there.
For me, it'd be Alice in Chains. It's a no-brainer. Lane, I just identified with him. I was able to match his harmonies and stuff. I'd be riding down the road in my brother's car. He'd pop in the Alice in Chains cassette, and I'd just be harmonizing with Lane, riding down the road with my older brother.
Nice. And then how about for you? Keep going down the list. Yep.
For me, well, it's really hard to pin it down, but I'm more into the late '70s funk, rock, and country R&B, and it's just stuff that I listened to, you know, hanging out with my folks when I was a kid. Whenever I'd be around my mom and dad, and just the really, really good musicians that were, you know, making music back then, and those styles really stuck with me. And then I got to hanging out with some of these clowns, and they got me into the metal, heavier stuff, and that's where I got mine from.
I started out playing guitar with Jason and the other Jeremy over there in a different band, and my influences were always kind of more the thrash virtuoso guys, you know, like Alex Skolnick from Testament, and you know, yeah, just basically stuff like that. But yeah, current influences playing bass with this band. Nolly Getgood from Periphery. He knows about production. That's something I strive to learn more about, and all around sound, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's one of those. That's the thing. Everybody has those. You know, Sepultura. You had all. You know, Testament. You had all those. You know, and you're going through, just growing up. It's like, you know, now kids, you look at it. It's like, what the hell are these things? It's like they're called cassette tapes. I had them everywhere. You know, that was. You know, do you guys watch Stranger Things?
Oh yeah.
If that doesn't epitome Eddie's line, "This is music," you know, when he's holding, I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's just everybody's like, "What music is that?" You know, just, you know, you're looking at it, it's like, "Oh my God," you know, it's like,
yeah,
please.
The same Iron Maiden cassette too. I could probably do the same thing with the same cassette.
Yep. So you're just, and I love it. How they said. So, Jester, how about you?
I grew up in my parents made it, was all the classic stuff, Bach, Beethoven, Grieg, all that kind of stuff. And then my dad, he very much had like a rock kind of a thing to him. So he had all of these great records. He had Led Zeppelin 1, like vinyl, that, I mean, it's worth gajillions of dollars now, but it was like original. He bought it the day it came out kind of shit. And so there was that kind of stuff. But as I was growing up, like when I was young, Michael Jackson was big because he was dangerous. And
you can say that.
If you had a merry-go-round,
right. That kind of pushed me to a place where I liked the kind of music that my parents didn't like. And then I got my hands on the Black album, and then
Oh,
it was down the hill from there. I got into the rest of Metallica's catalog. I got into Pantera, Fear Factory, Machine Head, Suga, all that kind of stuff. And
wow, you started the other direction. I cut my teeth on, Master of Puppets. So that was, so that was that I was just stunned, when you're just when that first riff comes out, when you turn on that album, and you're just like, holy, like this is the music I'm not supposed to be listening to, and I mean, it's just from there on, it was just an absolute, something. Just every time you see.
The thing with me, like I heard Black first, and then I got Load and Reload because at the time you couldn't find this shit. Like I lived in a small little town in South Alabama. You had to drive 45 minutes to the nearest mall to be able to even like scope through records.
Yep.
So I had Load and Reload and the Black album before I even knew Master Puppet.
Whoa! Oh my God! We need to GoFundMe for therapy for you. Oh my God!
I already fallen in love with that version of Metallica before I started discovering the early '80s Metallica, and was just like, holy shit!
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, we're gonna derail here for a second. You got to tell me, what was your thoughts when you put on that Justice for All album and you're listening to Blackened, and when you're Master of Puppets and you've got these things? I mean, just because it is so different from Load and Reload. I mean, this was, I mean, for one of those, especially with you guys when you do music, this is one of those things. Yeah.
Master of Puppets, I bought that, and it was I bought the tape. And a funny story about that tape is I abused that so much that the tape itself flipped over. So like halfway through Sanitarium, it started playing Disposable Heroes backwards.
Oh.
And played the rest of Sanitarium backwards, and then it became Disposable Heroes.
Cool mix.
Yeah.
Oh. I actually want to hear that now. Do you guys still have that tape?
Fell in love with Master of Puppets because when I popped the tape in for the first time, and I'm listening to it like hiding in my bedroom because it's music I'm not supposed to listen to, and I hear this beautiful classical guitar intro for Battery that breaks away something so fast, so aggressive. I was like, this is the band for me. And then at the time, I'm like, man, James's voice is so different on this because I had already fallen in love with that deeper, more mature voice.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got my hands on Justice for All, and listening to that intro to Battery or to Blacken, and then that breaks away to just being nasty fast, and his voice was deep and angry and gruff. To this day, everyone's like, Master of Puppets is the best. I'm like, I don't know. I think
yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I would say, I would say Justice for All is probably one of my favorites, just because the way that it's laid out. I mean, I really enjoy that album, and that's, so.
And, Dyer's Eve and To Live Is to Die, like those tracks on that album were just fun.
Yeah.
I grew up on AC/DC. I wasn't supposed to listen to it. My uncle introduced me to AC/DC with the Blow Up Doll. I can't remember what album it was. That was like my favorite. I mean, that's when I was in the
Whole Lot of Rosie. That was a song. That was Rosie. That was
okay.
Yeah, that was Rosie. That was the Blow Up Doll. That Rosie. So that was a whole lot of Rosie. All right. Well, hey, let's not forget you. What about you?
Well, I'm going to complete the circle here. You can probably hear everybody else simple. So I was the band That's kind of where I'm deep in what it is, but with this, I think that's what the pipe that was about. This is a lot of helmet. For 90. And just the top, the just dolphin out.
Wow. Yeah, that's no.
The justice on my ear. The first time I opened the beer pack, I was driving home for class beer pack, and I got the call. It's like, hey, beer pack. I'm like, I just did the beer pack. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's. I was like looking at as you guys were talking. I'm just thinking too. It's just so it's. I think I'm still really partial to your guys' album, Snowflake. I think it's I really like that song.
That's a helmet song.
Yeah.
I remember that riff.
Yeah, I really like that one. What out of
Sticks out to you most about that one?
What was that? I think for me, I liked the lyrics to it, and I really liked the opening. Especially the way that opening is. It's one of those. I'm trying to think who I really compared it to. Is the last time I listened to it. I really liked the. I don't know. It was just one of just the way it was arranged was for me was I really liked it. I just liked where it just had kind of fast and slow. It was one of those. I don't know. It's something about it. Just when I was flipping through the songs, that's the one that always just kind of stuck out to me. It's like I like that one.
I like that one a lot too. That's always been one of my.
And that it's so. Who takes most credit for that one?
Jeremy.
I would take credit for that one.
Lyric wise, gosh, comes up with all the lyrics on that.
Pardon me, guys.
It's a glitch in the Matrix.
Pardon me, guys, while I put my crotch in the camera. So.
I give you the ass or the crotch?
Yeah, it's just come by and do the the X thing. Just got to do the wrestling thing. Just do the X. Just come through. No, so so the new album. What are you guys thinking? Possibly like track wise, is this going to be somewhere between like the 10 and 12 tracks, or you think it's going to be possibly a little less?
We're kind of throwing around doing a 5-song EP to kind of reintroduce what Strike the Tower is now. Our efforts on the last 6 songs we produced have completely turned the game around in the form of heavy playing. I mean, we're playing heavier, where we still keep the influences as they were from the first album. A lot of good melodies, a lot of good stuff, but it's just an angrier set of Strike the Tower coming at you.
Nice.
So one of those things where kind of 5 songs, and then maybe do singles in between.
Got no problem with me. More thrash. I'm like speed. It's what. Yeah, it's one of those. I think the part I really like is I like it when it's really hard riffs, and then you can do when you can seamlessly go from just a hard riff to just like a slow breakdown, and then you can just seamlessly go right back into it. I mean, it's kind of like anybody that's been mosh pit. It's like gives you that you're going like this, and then you can take a breath, and then it's just you're just right back. You're just right because who doesn't like a good hammering on a guitar? Just I mean, it's just.
So what's the farthest you guys have traveled? Are you looking to book any shows in the Florida area? Maybe I can drag Craig out to a bar that smells like cigarette smoke and get him out the house.
We're fine for Florida. The furthest we probably have done is Charleston or Greenville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
That was all the way to the coast of North Carolina, which is like
we did Macon when we were
Macon, Georgia. Yeah,
but that's been a minute.
But yeah, we've been focusing a little bit more on keeping it in about a 2-hour travel area just to begin with. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, gas is expensive. I don't think anybody that's not part of a band, is just or has been to a set and watched them, who doesn't feel bad for the drummer? I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, everybody else just gets to pack, like the bass guitar guy. He can just show up with his guitar case and his one little amp, just like, I'm ready to go. What's your problem? You got a mean guy. You got the guy bringing in 1,700 cases, having to unpack all the cymbals and set everything up, and then you do an hour set, and then you're like, all right, Bob, time to break it down. You're like, oh my God.
I was thinking they could do a Home Alone, the tuba van, get a U-Haul and travel to Florida.
Yeah.
Well,
right. Well, if you can get John Candy on board, you're all right.
That's right. Yeah, that's one of those things. I always feel bad for the drummer, and especially those little small sets, because that's just a lot of work to set up a drum set. Oh my God!
But some of these
four
bars
guys that are willing to help him set up before it all breaks down and everything. So most drummers are going to have a 5-piece kit. He's got a 15-piece kit.
Yeah,
and, it's not a Neil Peart kit. It's just there's a lot of extras, but we know the importance of getting in, getting out. There's a band behind us. There's a band in front of us. So we try to pit crew this thing where he's got help.
Yeah. As long as you don't do the striper drum set. If anybody remembers that one.
Oh, yeah.
You remember? Yeah, he had them all hanging from chains. See, you had all those cymbals hanging loose, and it was like almost this 360 drum set where you're just like twirling around. Oh my God!
So that thing breaks up in 3 pieces, and then they're out.
Yep.
What kind of diversity do you face when you go to a club that already has a preset drums? They already have a 6-piece or whatever piece drum set. Like, I know it makes it easy for.
Yeah.
We haven't hit a place like that has that, but if there was, yeah, it's in our way. We got other stuff to bring in.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm sorry to be the dick here, but we got to unpack your shit. We got to move your shit to the side.
Yeah.
Yep.
We ain't got time for this.
It's just like with the other instruments, you've got to. It's your instrument, right? There's particularly with a drum kit, there's all this different geometry, and you get used to how you move to play these songs, and or even what you hear, and whenever you're having to play a different angle or whatever, it just makes the whole thing weird. So just for the sake of performance, you'd want to play on your stuff. We got a battery issue here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that always happens.
Yeah.
To get back to what Jeremy was saying, this group is each other out on and off stage. We're doing the right thing. It's almost like we got it down to a science. We can tear down, be back up in 15 minutes. That's our goal. I remember when we first started playing out, that was one of our major things. Try to minimize all the bumps and stuff. Try to make it as smooth as possible, so that way we can respect all the other musicians' time.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Because it's one of those. Because you just I don't think a lot of people realize just even in small groups, the logistics that goes into getting yourself set up and ready for these concerts that you're going to. Because a lot of people, they just think it's just show up. No, you've got a lot of stuff you have to get set up and get tuned, because everybody. I'm not even professional in any way. I've got my bass guitar over there, and I think that thing needs to be restrung, because I think the last time I played it was 2 years ago. So it's one of those, they realize just how much you have to tune those things, just between things. It just losses audio.
That's the difference between a pro and a I'm not even gonna say an amateur like you. He can tune it on the fly. He's like, he knows that note's off. He's like, that's off. We tweak it a little bit.
Looks like we might looks like we might have one of them's frozen, and the other one we lost the audio.
Oh, they're just playing really good, like playing still.
Yeah. So.
Damn, they're good at this.
I know. Well, he's so good. He's jumped from one screen to the other just like that. He's jumped.
Holy shit!
Yeah, they're trying to figure that out. So we're gonna stall. So if you guys can hear us, just try maybe jump out and come back in and see if that works.
How's that? Is that better?
Hey, there you are. We got you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, man.
Nope.
We've got this thing down to a science, man. There's no doubt about it, and it's good to have a group of guys that like Jester said earlier, it's in the right headspace, right? Where we've learned to drop our egos out the door and work with each other. It's not that we don't have our conflicts, but in the same sense, we do really good at managing ourselves and staying in the right headspace and realizing this is probably like our last run. And if it's our last run, I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. And I'm not going to try to waste time at everything.
I hope not. Like I said, can go to YouTube. And like I said, check. They've got. You can go to their channel right there and listen to it. I mean, you guys have great music. Oh, we got that. We'll get it.
Okay, we're back.
Sorry.
Remix.
There we go. I checked it out on my end there. So we. How about now? Try that.
Check.
There we go.
All right.
This is a live program, everybody. We're good. We roll with the punches, as I said. This is live. We don't. There's no editing involved.
No, none.
No, it's so. Well, I teased this. So I was gonna, one you're talking a little bit prior about. I wanted to ask you guys: have you ever listened to Native Howl, the thrash grass?
No.
Oh, if you get a chance, these guys, it's a thrash metal band that plays bluegrass.
Okay.
So he's got one of the players, banjo. The other guy, he's rocking, the acoustic guitar. I mean, it's actually something that is definitely interesting. Yeah, I said I've never heard it before. It's we were talking about when you were mentioning, the stuff you listen to, like the classical was coming through there, country. So I was like, oh yeah, these guys. I mean, it's amazing blend between bluegrass and thrash metal. I've never heard anything like it before.
Have you ever heard Fade to Bluegrass?
No.
It's a bluegrass band that covers Metallica.
All right, I'll have to check that out because I wrote it down there.
And I actually wondered if Metallica knew about these guys, and I saw Metallica in Charlotte, and when the show was over and they're just playing music like "Get the Fuck Out" music, they were playing Fade to Bluegrass.
Really?
Yeah.
So they must have heard of yeah, it's oh my god, that's one concert I'm still ashamed I have not been to to an actual
you
Metallica
haven't been
concert.
to a Metallica show?
No. Every time I lived in Oregon. I lived in Oregon, for 42 years, and it was, anytime you'd have a concert, it was like hours away. Like we were talking like 4.5, 5 hours to get to Seattle, or it's down in California, and so it just never worked out to go there. Now that I'm here in Orlando area, now it's like if they get here, it's like I've got to go.
You have to go.
This point.
Yeah,
you will not be disappointed. And dude, they're getting to the end of their road, man. I don't know how many more shows we're going to get out of them.
It's James got to keep himself out, keep himself straight, so it's like you can't keep canceling dates, for rehab, that's so that's a
man.
That's
they're knocking on the door of 60, man.
I know.
Lars did an interview and he was talking about it, and he was saying, like, everyone always brings up the idea of how long can you last, and when you talk about tenure in rock bands, they always bring up the Rolling Stones. And Lars is like, the Rolling Stones aren't playing Damage Incorporated every fucking night.
No. Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you're not thrashing a guitar. You're just doing a simple string plucks. For this. Yeah, it's like even Aerosmith. I think they're going on 50 years of touring. I mean, it's just some of these bands. I mean, talk about making yourself feel older as you're listening to these things. You're like, as these bands are getting this age, and so
Metallica just hit 40
I
years.
I know. Ah, God, I'm old. I'm old. I remember when the album came out. I'm old.
You are old.
Yeah,
Strike
it's just
the Tower's going to be around that long. We're going to be old guys in wheelchairs
hopefully
playing Amichis.
So, if you guys, so just kind of like around the room there, do you guys prefer like just the straight, because we had some audio issues here. I'm just going to make sure in case, we didn't get an answer. Do you guys prefer the songs that are pretty much just hardcore, just from start to finish? Or do you really like those ones that kind of have that ebb and flow? The ones that just, like you're saying, you got that hardcore thrash and then you kind of slow down.
I'm going to say ebb and flow.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's
love ballads, man.
but it's not just the ballad thing. It's really just it's the form of beauty and beast in one song. The as you say, the flow of it kind of gives people that break in the tension, and then we bring the tension.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have an appreciation for both, in that I like a song that is just two-dimensional, like Motorhead, Ace of Spades. That song is just a repeated kick in the nuts for 3 minutes from start to finish.
Now, I can't remember who's the bass player. Okay, so since you said Motorhead, how bloody hard is that to sit there with your neck up at the sky, with the way he had that mic, and you're playing the whole time as you're screaming?
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't even looking down. He can't.
His head's up here like this, and he's just screaming and thing, and he's I'm like, that has got to be
back in his body's 180 degrees, man.
Yeah, I'm like, how just from your perspective, how hard is it to play like that? And actually to sing like, because I mean, that just seems like that would just be difficult.
I play my neck up high, but I'm not having to put my neck up high. As far as anything, I'm luckily I'm not also singing, but Lemmy was God. So,
well, he was the epitome of metal. Because do you guys know the backstory when he was kicked out of the group?
Yeah,
and he went to form that thing. So his mission was to sleep with every single one of their wives.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that was his mission afterwards. It's like, I'm gonna screw every single one of your wives, from the prior band, before he was done. I mean, that's some serious. That's a metal fu right there.
Oh, if you haven't watched Dave's eulogy at Lemmy's funeral, you're missing out. You gotta YouTube that shit tonight and watch Dave Grohl's eulogy, man. It's
okay. Yeah, I will.
It sums up all the greatness that Lemmy was in 5 minutes.
Nice. Yeah, because that was just the thing. It's if you guys could pick something right now to bring on a sixth member of the set, who would you guys love to jam with?
Oh, fuck.
I know, that's right on the spot. Yeah, I mean, had to pick
Dave Grohl.
Dave
Grohl.
Yeah, because he can play anything.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? He can just rail his drums, and the same way with guitar. I mean, it's
he can hang in there with Max Cavalera and Probot, man. I mean, fuck yes.
Yeah.
I would definitely go Dave Grohl, like top of the list, but I would also like go someone real obscure, like maybe Santana.
Oh yeah,
I like Santana.
Like, because he would be interesting to jam with.
Yeah, because he would definitely fit right in there with with any guitar riff. I mean, that's there's
so much to learn from the guy.
He could be on Strike the Tower Lulu album.
Yeah. Looks like Chris's camera just fell over. I don't know what happened there. Oh my God. So I was looking at the time here, so I didn't want to get to this. All right. So here's what I teased. I go, so here's the thing. This is going to be one's got to go. All right.
Okay.
So, all right, here we're going to start with Metallica, Megadeth.
Megadeth.
That's right. Ozzy, Slayer.
Slayer.
Oh, Ozzy.
I know, not the Black Sabbath part, just Ozzy by himself. Ozzy solo versus Slayer.
Ozzy.
Yeah, so there's a little thing. Judas Priest or Ronnie James Dio.
Judas Priest.
Yeah.
There's Motorhead or Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden. No.
Iron Maiden.
That's it. Anthrax or Pantera.
Anthrax.
That's can we at least give them props for Public Enemy?
Oh, we love
we love
Anthrax.
Yeah, that
Pantera.
This is really hard, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, that's I told you some of these aren't gonna be easy. I'm not gonna be doing like Metallica, versus some other. It's just gonna be so they're gonna be Alice in Chains and Soundgarden.
Alice in Chains.
That was a quick one.
I'm gonna go Alice in Chains on that one.
Who's got to go Soundgarden?
Well, I mean, I know Josh was going to be Soundgarden. It has to go because I know that. It's just because we knew that one.
A really good one in there, man.
I don't know, man. Chris is a fucking man.
Yeah.
Motley Crue or Guns N' Roses.
Awesome.
Chris Cornell has not done a thing in his career that I was.
Yeah. Motley Crue or Guns N' Roses.
What?
Motley Crue or GNR? Who goes?
GNR's got to go.
Not Motley Crue.
Yeah,
GNR.
I'm
Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah,
needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm Motley Crue on that one.
Yeah. Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath.
Led Zeppelin.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Yep. That's a Tool or Machine Head.
Machine Head. Yeah.
Damn it, that was not.
I love Tool, man.
Tool. I'm sorry, Tool.
I'm
out.
with
Tool's
Tool.
out for me.
I'm with Tool with that one.
Then this is the last one I had was the Dave Grohl battle. Foo Fighters or Nirvana?
Nirvana.
Foo Fighters.
Nirvana.
So it's like you got to both. It's like who do you get rid of, the Dave Grohl, drummer or the Dave Grohl guitar? Who goes? Yeah, that's.
Snares like newsflash later. Strike the Tower breaks up due to incorrect sound difference.
Yeah, due to Craig's, you get rid of one. Yeah, no, that's what I said. I told you what these weren't going to be easy. Like it's a couple of those, but yeah, there's a. And it looks like a few people are really agreeing with the.
This band comes from all four corners of metal, and it's interesting to hear it because I know this from just hanging out with these guys. It's interesting to hear it come out through a questionnaire like that, but this band is from all four corners of it. It's awesome.
And that's one of the things I like with writing, because it's like I'll put together a sequence of riffs and drum beats and come to the table with it and have this whole idea built up in my head about how this song's going to go, and then it just starts getting like chopping block, hashed apart, glued together, and then all of a sudden there's this Frankenstein that comes from the five of us that becomes Strike the Tower.
That's cool.
And just before this podcast, we were talking, and I was telling the guys, I was like, I love the fact that if any one member of this band isn't present, we suffer.
Wow.
We don't sound as good. It takes the five
awesome.
to do it. And it's a real beautiful, magical thing that I'm very happy to be a part of.
Yeah, and that was you kind of hit on that too, because that was one of the questions I still had to ask you guys. What is the easiest part for you guys? Is it coming up with a lyric or is it coming up with a riff? Which one comes first?
Yeah, the riff probably.
The riff takes the longest, but it's done in a collaboration where the weight is really on Josh lyrically, and then he knows when it's gonna gel when he tries it for the first time against the music that we pretty much slaved over, and then gets to the point where he enhances every bit of it with every rehearsal because he takes it home and he works on it.
Yeah. And also too, to Josh's credit, which is not something that I've dealt with a lot of lyricists or singers, is he's very open to collaboration. And it's been fun to work with him on stuff and work with him on putting together concepts and ideas and getting the songs to the place that we are all happy with.
Yeah, and then somebody had a question too. Brian is like, doesn't it depend on the song you're writing? I mean, do you ever have some where it just seems to go easier? Because
oh yeah.
Some we just work really hard trying to figure out how to get the riffs together, and other ones it just seems like they just fall right in our laps.
Yeah, the other I hadn't seen this one. This comment he just had. That's always been the unspoken thing in most people's heads, but nobody really wants to utter those words. that it was one of those things. If it hadn't been for Cobain's death, we wouldn't have known the greatness of Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl.
Absolutely, sir, Brian.
Yeah, well, Dave would still be there. He just would still be in the shadow.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Most people don't like to utter it, but everybody kind of understands. It's like it's made. This was the, I guess, the blessing out of the tragedy. I guess how you could say it. I mean, I don't. It's in what do you guys find is inspiration strikes you the most? I mean, it's one of those. I mean, are you just laying there in bed at night and all of a sudden you sit up and you're like, oh my God, that's the riff. That's the lyric. I need to go with that.
It's, in my experience, it's the one that's addictive. It's like you'll have riff after riff after riff, or song idea after song idea, but it's the one that digs into your brain that you can't let go of, and it's just like, I have to finish this to get this earwig out of my fucking head.
The one you think about in the car. It's the one you can't wait home to get back to and do it again.
Yeah, that, in my experience, is that one.
That's cool, because it's pulling out. You got to pull over the side of the road and you just got to start jotting it down. Do you find that you find that you're going around? It's like you finally come up with those lyrics and you just got to pull right over and just start writing them down.
Yeah, grab the phone out, put the little addictive thing on there, and just start singing it.
For me, it's when I have two riffs that really complement each other. That's when I know.
Yeah, that's probably got to be the coolest thing. Is just as a group, when you kind of get that feeling like, that's it. That was the click. That's exactly what we.
That hi-hat and that snare. When they line up and hit together.
So
yeah.
So when you all play, what would be the drink of choice for the night? Or it just varies by what venue you're in?
So do we want to classify it like liquor, beer? We don't drink wine.
I mean, who drinks wine? Did you bring your wife out or did you come out? I mean, I'm just saying.
Hey, that's reserved for acoustic shows only.
That's right. The MTV Unplugged. So,
I mean, it could be beer or it could be liquor. I mean, just drink of choice. I mean, I have a beer and a cup of liquor, so I mean, don't judge me. But.
Being a professional drinker, a lot of times it depends on what's available at the venue. But if you're playing a festival, you have to go with a light beer.
Please. Yeah, water's possible.
Yeah, something like Miller Lite, where it's like you're going to be drinking
if it's outdoors, you're going to sweat it all out anyway.
No,
if you're playing a good place that's got a good selection of beer, I'm typically going to go with something like an IPA, maybe a Guinness, and have
North Carolina has a really strong presence brewery. So you're going to find like all the stuff at all these. Yes. That's me and the other guys who gravitate to it.
Whiskey for this guy. Water for that guy.
Water for that guy.
Yeah, I won't discriminate on the water.
He's cut off. Water. Yeah, I don't know who doesn't want to do like the 80s garage band, thing and have the MD bottles back there on the table, along with a Pabst Blue Ribbon, because you get, you want to live the, the authentic experience of the 1980s metal band.
Nothing
yeah.
like food.
We're not discriminatory at all.
That's right. if all we got is boons, we're gonna rock this thing.
Funny story is we have a song on the set right now. It's a brand new song, so it's like a working title with PBR. And
Nice.
We've been talking about it so much that I got a PBR ad. I think.
Yeah, they don't say. Yeah, they don't say. They say they don't actively listen, but yeah, it's funny how that stuff used to it happens when you're doing that stuff.
Yeah.
So
when was the last time you got a PBR ad on your Facebook?
oh yeah, well, it's like our last show. I talked so much about how excited I was that one of our fans sent me French's mustard, that I'm actually getting ads on some of my social media, for French's, so I was, so I almost added that just for kicks, in the thing, the debate, it's like, what's the best mustard, Heinz or French's, just so I could keep it going, since I seem to have nothing but the
French's.
That's right. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Some great.
Well, it's kind of funny you said that. It's when I was a waiter, I actually waited on Pantera at a restaurant. So I actually had, Dimebag, and I said they were right there. I said I waited on them, and everybody, you see them on stage, you're thinking just, out of control type thing. First thing is, it's like, hey, how are you guys doing? How are you? How are you tonight, sir? Like I said, they were just, I mean, he wanted tea. He wanted hot tea, with lemon and honey, and there was no drinking. They were just
blasphemy.
Yeah, I don't. Well, that's what I said. I was just like, I was completely blown away. I mean, everything was like, please and thank you. I was like, hey, may I please have the? I mean, I'm like, I'm expecting you guys to just come kicking down the doors, throwing, this bread is too dry. Throw it. It was all I could do to. It was all I could do to keep the chefs in the kitchen. Yeah, the head cook had a Pantera shirt on, and it was all I could do to keep those guys in the kitchen. It's like, you got to make the food. You can't be out of here. Yeah, so I was caught.
Talking about Dave Grohl and Pantera. Are you guys familiar with the show on YouTube, Hot Ones?
Yes, I love that show.
Watch the Dave Grohl episode. It's about a month old now. He rolls in, and as soon as he sits down at the table, he's like, "We're going to be drinking tonight." And Sean, the host, is like, "All right, cool. What are we drinking?" And Dave is like, "Have you ever heard of the band Pantera? These are Blacktooth Grids." And they're doing Blacktooth Grid shots between every wing.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I fucking love that Grohl, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that one. Yeah, because it was. I'm telling you, it was completely mind blowing, because they were playing the Salem Armory that night. That I think it was the following day. It's just, so they were there right after their warm up set, and it was not what I expected. I was not expecting please and thank you, hot tea. May I? I was just expecting. It's like, mother, get me some water now. That's what I was expecting. But they were amazing guys. I mean, they were a lot of fun to talk with. So it's, it's one of those things. Hopefully, like I said, people, like when you guys sit down at the restaurants, they're having that same experience when they meet the Strike the Tower guys.
Nice. Like that.
Until. Yeah, no. You're knocking over the water glass. I'm done.
I'm not tipping you.
No, it would be Tower shirt on.
Yeah.
A really great fan base, and some nights I never pay for a drink.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
The band usually does it. I mean, and the DJ, people that come into the club, from what I experienced, they never really do. Hey, what are you drinking? We're gonna take care of you. We got you.
Send us those clubs. Because it's not our. It's more like the Blues Brothers. It's like, well, we were going to pay you $200, but you drank $500 in beer.
So you owe us $300.
And then they charge security $5 for a Red Bull. I'm like, dude, are you serious? Come on, dude, tighten up.
He's
go write the check out in the car.
Here might be an unpopular position. I'm kind of this way. Mustaine's voice does not match the riffs.
Agreed.
That's why I put that in there. He's one of those. He's amazing when it comes to the fans. I mean, there's a viral clip during the set. You got everybody's kind of filling in. He comes in with a hoodie and he's sitting down behind the kids, and he goes like this, and he hands him a pick and hands him another one like that, and just like that, and just gets up. And yeah, he's amazing with the fans. But I'm just like, when you have that hard riff and all of a sudden his voice comes in here, it's just kind of like, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. So okay, so I'm not in the minority on this opinion. It's like, maybe.
Me and Josh are friends with a guy here in Charlotte, and he does a Big Four tribute, and he sings Megadeth and Metallica.
Really?
And his Megadeth cover, his voice for Megadeth is better than fucking Mustaine.
Oh my God.
That's how Mustaine should sound.
Shout out
to
Plowman.
Yeah, shout out to Plowman.
There you go. Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know. I don't know if it's just he needs to gargle some nails or something, to rasp up that. I don't know what it is. He's just got it. It's just there's got to be some gravel, to that voice. I mean, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah, especially live.
But what does work is Strike the Tower. There. Got to keep plugging these guys. Yeah. So
what works for us is we come out here. This is our Wednesday break away from the world. We get together. We get to fucking enjoy each other's company. We go
That's
up,
awesome.
we make some music, and we just. The best analogy that I've heard about this is Strike the Tower is a muscle car that we all own. And we get together every Wednesday night and we polish it and we wrench on it. And every once in a while, we get to drive it out to a car show and show it off. And it's something that we all love and that we're all a part of. And we go out and we make it happen.
I can see it. That's awesome. Yeah. But no, it's just so real quick. Well, we got a few more minutes. Definitely want you guys to plug. You got your dates coming up. You got a couple of shows that are coming up. I think September, if I'm not mistaken, was it September 13th?
September the 11th.
11th.
Yeah,
well, there's one.
That's one, and then also September 16th.
5 days later.
So September 11th is at a place in the Concord area. We're actually opening up for Smile Empty Soul. So I don't know if you guys remember those guys at all. They had some popular radio play late 90s, early 2000s.
I think so. I mean, it's one of those. I'd have to look at kind of refresh.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't feel alive. Do for the love.
Yeah.
Of a bottle.
Yeah.
Yep. That's okay. Yep. That's it.
That's the 11th, and then it's our bigger show in Charlotte, and that's September 16th, and that's for Wednesday 13th. Another national act. So those are the two that are coming up in just the next month.
Yeah, I got the opportunity to tour with Smile Empty Soul, and those guys, they bring it. They aren't fucking around. Those guys are serious.
I think I got. Let's see this. You guys know who they are. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunday Fun Day, September the 11th. Man, come out. Amichis in Concord. Home for the Day, Solarist.
And have you got the flyer available for the September 16th?
Yeah, I think. Let's see. I just dropped it off here. Sorry about that. Right there.
There 20 years of fear. Wednesday is a local guy around here. He's been around for a while. He's been doing this for a long time. Just to see the hometown guy get out and make it somewhat of a national appearance or international appearance. He does a lot of European tours as well. but this is his 20 years of Fear. He's been doing this for a while. Actually, part 2, as you see right there. So this is another year of that tour. So glad to see Wednesday be successful in what he does and support him in this effort.
It's good to be back at Amos's South End.
Yeah.
It was a venue that closed down for a while during pandemic and all that stuff, and now they're back up and running. And
Nice.
It was there was a lot that was going on. There was some really great local venues here that had a lot of good national acts like Tremont and Amos's, and they struggled. Tremont closed down permanently, but Amos's was able to come back and, fighting the good fight against Live Nation and their venues and their bullshit. It's good to have some hometown guys that are willing to do some hometown bands, and it's the battle that we fight, man.
Well, I hope you guys, sell that place out, and just, rock a pretty good, size crowd. Because as I said, you guys definitely, you're definitely putting in the effort. And like I said, I hope for the best for you guys, that keeps going out. I mean, it's just, I appreciate Josh, like I said, you reaching out again. Like I said, it was cool when I saw that, I was like, hell yeah. I mean, I don't know if you know that I had just gotten an email 2 days prior from the guests that's coming up apologizing that they had to reschedule. I had
disguise.
So I had that following Wednesday just opened up, and so you just all of a sudden just bing, pops up. It's like, hey man, I got to do stuff. I do all this stuff, and I'm like, Wednesday's booked. Don't threaten me with a good time. Yeah. So we did it. So yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, if you had told me the last time that we were on your show that we would be opening for 2 national acts in the same week, I would have told you to get the hell out of here.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm super happy for you guys. Like I said, it's just, I hope for the best. Like I said, definitely with everything, it's like keep in touch. Just like you said, you're more than happy to send the information our way, and I'll post it for you. Or just like I said, get up there, because we definitely want to, just get the word out. Because like I said, I'm happy that the scene's opening back up, and you guys it's getting back in full swing where people are starting to go, because that's what's been needed. I mean, everything from the venues, from you guys, it just brings more exposure, more gear, possible. We talked about some merchandise that's coming up, possibly a new oregano grinder. That's what we're going to call it, an oregano grinder. It's custom Strike the Tower one. Yep. That's what we're going to call it. Look at, I mean, just imagine the cooking you can do with that grinder. It's just amazing. You can get some serious baking done with that grinder. Some serious baking can happen. And look at that. I mean, just the cooking oil that can go in that container as well.
Shout out to merch.
This is where we store the oregano.
Yes. Does that come with some baking paper too?
Yes, yeah, right.
Some wax paper.
It comes in 2 by 3 inch squares. So
just lay that right on there. Just perfect. These have been baking tips by Strike the Tower and Three Beards Podcast.
Yeah, if we can give a quick shout out, Missy Wood has provided us a lot of great ideas for new merch product instead of just the old standbys with shirts and beanies and things. Yeah, she's really come in and showed us the possibilities. So thank you, Missy Wood, for all you do.
Yeah, that flask was really nice looking. Like I said, I really like that. The logo on that black looked really nice.
That's what H2O is for.
Yeah, that's right. That's water. Stay hydrated out there.
Water.
Stay hydrated, my friends.
That's high quality H2O.
Yeah, man, you can seriously put a nice party in that container there, depending on what it is. We're just gotta pay attention to the drummer. He's gonna have that one tucked in the belt loop. It's like, does anybody notice he's off key right now? I don't know what's going on.
The drummer don't have to worry about key.
Yeah, I know. I was one of those things. I was trying to say guitarist, but I said drummer at the same time, and I was just like, I'm just gonna roll with it and hope nobody notices.
that's the beauty of being the drummer. I don't have to worry about stuff like that. I count to
Nope.
4, sometimes 6, and I don't have to worry about key. So
well, that's you're really drummer. Just like real quick, just while we're talking about that, I didn't notice about Led Zeppelin until I watched a special on it, and he was talking about that he was one of the few drummers that actually plays along with the lead guitar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's, he doesn't. He's like offbeat. It's like he's actually. He was one of those things. It's like he's not doing the normal thing. I think I would say it was actually. I don't think lead guitar. I think it was Robert Plant. I think it was. I think he was. That's who he was going through. It was just. It was like completely different. It's like so he was like an off note as he plays. So and I was like, that's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, I can hear that, man. He was a loud drummer too.
Yeah,
Loud.
that was. But no, so yeah, so you know, the instruments have keys, the drums have beats. So there we go. That's, what if we learned from today? Yes. So all right, well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, I just best of luck to you guys. I hope for much success. Please keep in touch. And I said it's been fantastic, and we look forward to great things for you guys. I really do.
Hey,
so let us know when the album gets done.
Yeah, when we make it down to Florida, we'll have to do this in person. You got to come out to the show.
Definitely.
Yeah. Let me know if you happen to at some point do an LP press.
We'll do.
Like I said, I've got my record. I've got my player right over there, and I've actually got quite a few. Like I said, it's one of those things. And remiss, even all this talk, I still don't have a Metallica one. I have not been able to find one. I haven't wanted to pay the $90 that people have been wanting. It's like,
they have their own record press now, so they're reproducing a lot of records.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's knowing them, it's still going to be like $80, even on a reproduce.
It's like, man.
Yeah, you got to pay
prices on that. That's it.
Yeah, you got to pay for Lars's ego somehow.
Yeah, and James is big.
Damn that Lars! We had such a good thing going with Napster. It was God.
Hey, I'm going to defend him on that.
Oh, I know. I'm just. It was one of those things. I mean, I came from the days. I mean, who didn't enjoy the fact that you could set download and then the next morning it was halfway done? I mean, who did not enjoy getting their music that way?
Hey,
and then
because of that, gold records, platinum records, that's a thing of the past.
Yep.
Being in a touring band, everyone was like, "Oh, that must have been fun. That must have been great. You must have made a bunch of money." I'm like, "No, we were basically traveling T-shirt salesmen."
Yep. Yeah, it's really the internet really changed a lot of stuff. I mean, it's just a lot of things. I mean, that was just
Spotify and all that shit. It's the same fucking boat, man.
From all those services, like
0.005.
Right now, YouTube is the best payer. If you're just releasing videos, your pay per view is better than any other fucking outlet out there. So support YouTube and fuck everyone else.
Yes, subscribe to Strike the Tower, and then while you're there, subscribe to us. Yes, I like this. Yes, exactly.
If you like band's music, don't buy the album. Yeah.
Buy the album.
How you help the artist.
Yeah, I just it's one of those things, like what you're talking about, the same way too. It's like I don't think, joking around, it's like with the LPs. One of those things, I don't think people realize the sound quality you have when you actually play it off of an album, play it off, I mean, CDs are great, but man, there is something about the actual vinyl or a tape, the sound quality you could get through speakers and stuff. I mean,
it's the hardest driven signal that you can get, and it's the most direct signal. So it's rich.
Most people are used to listening to MP3 quality, and it's like, there's just nothing the same between the two. And that's why I was like, that's why I was like, if you guys have an LP press, I would love it. I would love it.
I just recently turned a friend of mine on at work to vinyl. We got into a conversation about it, and I told there's a place here in Charlotte called Repo Records. I was like, you need to go there. You need to pick up a record player and start buying albums. He is fucking addicted. Every night he goes home, pops a record in and listens, and you're listening to it different. You're not scanning through bullshit on your phone and blah blah blah. You're record out and you're putting it on a thing and you're setting the needle and you're listening to music.
It's got that nice little, I'm sitting like sometimes on night I'll put on Boston. I got my Boston out. Just throw that thing on there and just set it. It's like, yes, I don't want to melt people's faces here in the house with thrash. I mean, that's what I need to do. I mean, it's just got master puppets, got the towers. That's what you have to have.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Favorite jokes from a sitcom. Did you guys ever watch Third Rock from the Sun?
Mm-hmm.
It was like pilot episode when they first got to Earth and they're trying to figure out what CDs are. And John Lithgow's like, when are these Earthlings going to figure out the superior sound quality of vinyl?
I don't remember that one. That's fantastic. Yeah, because I don't know. You got it. You have to. Anybody that hasn't done it, you have to listen to. There's no comparison at all. I mean, it's just if you can get the surround speakers around the room.
Yeah.
You're there in concert.
Yeah.
So if I can't make it to North Carolina, I got to have the LP of Strike the Tower so I can actually pretend I'm there.
Absolutely, and we can make it down to Florida sometime.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Like I said, let us know because I mean that'd be the easiest for the three of us to get there, especially if you guys are a little closer. But guys, yeah, best of luck to you. Like I said, please let us know when the new album comes out. Like I said, good luck on the September 11th and the 16th. Hope those dates rock and you guys can sell those venues out.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, man. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, reach out again. Like I said, I was happy to do it. So,
yeah, right, we'll have to do this again soon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. For your podcast.
Yeah. Appreciate it. All right. We'll see you guys later on. This episode was brought to you by Three Beers Podcast because we're still waiting on a sponsor. You hear that, Frenches? I've dropped your name how many damn times? Come on. Frenches. I mean, I don't care. I mean, you're going to make me go to the law firm around here. You're going to make me go, well, yeah, welcome to the blah, 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 law firm studios. And that's going to just drive me crazy. Come on, Frenches. Come on, somebody. Hot sauce. I don't care.
Money's money. Come on now.
That's right. I know money's money, but there's at some point you just got to swallow your pride, I guess. But yeah, so just check us out on social media. Go like, subscribe. Just when you're there, like I said, Strike the Tower. Go to there, follow them. They're on Twitter as well at Strike the Tower. Are you guys on Instagram by any chance?
Yes.
Okay, so Instagram as well. Follow their YouTube along with us. This show is also rebroadcast on ERRT Radio every Wednesday night after Into the Outer Realms. So about 11 p.m. ish is when we're on there. So thanks to Ron for that. You can also check us out, like I said, on threebeardspodcast.com, where you can find us on our merchandise, or you can go to redbubble.com and Three Beards Podcast. Find our merchandise there. Thank you to everybody for the stars and the support that you give us here. We really appreciate that. I just, thanks again for everybody for watching. I just really we were going to be back next week for another show. And I said, but once again, don't forget Facebook. Go follow them. Strike the Tower. They're on the Facebook there. That's it. Yep. I'll take. Was that Yingling? Was that? Yep.
Yingling.
Who did? Okay, raise it real quick. Show of hands. Who thought it was a Chinese company? I won't be ashamed. I thought it was a Chinese company, and all of a sudden it's America's oldest brewery. I'm like, bullshit. And then they're like, no, I think it was a German. I think it was a German brewer.
It started in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I was blown away. I'm like, Yingling. I not only did I not have America nor German on my bingo card when it came to Yingling beer. So yeah. So yeah, that's one of those things. Yeah. So there we go. What about that for ending of the show? All right, guys. Well, appreciate it. Everybody, take care. We will see you later on the next one. Good night.